Hey everyone, Christopher here, and welcome back to another episode of Fossil Forward Finds. Jadzia is scratching some cardboard. We have another What Sold video for you. We're a little late this week. I apologize. I'm still adjusting schedule-wise. But this is a What Sold video from January 25th through January 31st, so ending the month. And we had another pretty good week for me. Total of 47 orders for $676.89 gross. So one of my better weeks for sure. Primarily postcards. Got a lot of multi-quantity orders this past week, which helps. Let's do a quick scroll through here. Got some swap cards in there. Let's see. As always, postcards. Sold a little Ninja Turtle glass for a few bucks. Glad that's gone. It's been bouncing around for a while, so we finally sold her for a little bit. Some more POGs there. Big old chonky book out the door for 20. All right. Well, that's enough of that. Let's take a look at the haul, or so what sold. I don't even know what I'm doing today. Alrighty, so I'm only going to show you one non-postcard item today. We're going to stick primarily with the postcards this week. But to start off here, we have a POG, Monster Madness Gargoyle here. Sold for full asking of $9.99. I got this part of a deal from my friend Jeff Norton over in Syracuse. He sets up at the local flea market. If you watch Dom over at Primetime Treasure Hunter, you are very much familiar with Jeff. So he called or sent me a message one day, said he had some POGs, so I bought them from him. I don't know if this is the first one to sell, but certainly one of the better ones to have sold. So part way on getting that 40 back. So a little discoloration on the back, but nice little holographic gargoyle-y type of POG there. Alrighty, so into the postcards. Like I said, I had a lot of multi-quantity orders this past week. In this case, buyer was picking up a bunch of Norman Rockwell postcards. So we got the Boy Scouts here. I think all three of them were Boy Scouts. I usually pick up Boy Scout stuff if I can get it for a reasonable price, because they do tend to move fairly well. And then this is the last one here. So 3 Norman Rockwell postcards ranging from $10 to $6 each. After shipping and fees, a nice $17.62. And let's see. I got these all from Dave F. Brother on Whatnot a little while ago. They've been up for a little bit. Alrighty. So I listed this as part of my National Postcard Week stuff that I've been scheduling. I'm not sure that it actually is one, but it is a limited edition, sort of homemade style postcard. This was made during the first Gulf War, and it's propaganda. It's American propaganda, tells Saddam to get out, etc. This one sold on a single bid on auction for $20. This is a second Saddam Hussein style or related card like this that I've sold to this particular buyer. So I will be keeping out in my back stock to see if I have any more. I believe they're an Israeli-based buyer, so clearly interested in Middle East history and so forth. So limited edition, only 50 or so made of this one. I don't know which this is in there, but nice little sale. I probably got this from Dave F. Brother. Most of my National Postcard Week and adjacent cards come from him. So unless otherwise mentioned, it's probably a Dave F. Brother acquisition. Alrighty. Another multi-quantity order. Got these on eBay, but there's a whole series of these like ice sculptures from a snow festival in Japan, 1987. So this one's, I don't know, they're all made for different, to look like different structures or different cartoon characters and so forth. So this is this one here. And then the other one I got here. So these must have been German entries to the festival. Mr. Garak, what are you doing? So cool cards there. I've had them for a while. Yeah, I mean, my SKU number is basically twice that now. But they both sold for $9.99 each. So no complaints there. And they are going to Germany. So that makes sense. So nice little sale there. I have a whole bunch more all different characters and buildings and such. All right, you know, I'm on the quest to see how many good Zeppelins I can find. I don't know if this counts really as a good Zeppelin, but I did sell it for the full asking of $10. This came from the Albany Postcard Show. If you saw the haul video last year, I'm pretty sure I've made all my money back. Yeah, I've long since made my money back on that show. Paid $57 at the show total, about $1 for this card specifically. So long since made my money back. So everything else is green at this point. All right. So this was a whole series. I think I had 10 of them, and the buyer purchased 6 out of the 10. And there are these Japanese woodblock style arts. There's the artist here. I'm not gonna try to butcher it, but the various house views, like abstracty kind of house views. And yeah, one buyer bought 6 of them. I think they got them for $8.49 each on offer, but still quite pleased. I was hoping they would come and buy all 10 of them, but they did not. These came from the Albany estate sale where I bought all the albums. This was part of the loose materials that I purchased. So happy there. And there's the back. So you can see Japanese printing. Nice cards. Alrighty. So the next 2 cards came from Penguin Boss over on Whatnot. She had a small lot of greetings from cards, and I like the generic greetings from. This is something I picked up from Popeye's Postcards. Some of them do well, some of them don't. So I bid on the auction, got a handful of them. I don't remember exactly what I paid, but it wasn't anything too extravagant. And 2 of them in there were for Columbia, Virginia. Here's generic view with some cows. This sold, it says 2 bids, but it was just the same person putting a secondary bid in. Sold for the initial asking of $19.99. And then they came back the next day or a day or 2 later and purchased the next one. Again, single bid of $19.99. Again, Columbia, Virginia. A little generic road scene. This exact scene's probably been printed for hundreds of different towns, so blank back or unused on the back there. So nice little card. Was only up for the week, so no complaints there. Let's see, we're almost to the end here. All right, this one, little story here. So this is a real photo postcard of Soapy Smith's grave in Alaska. I guess he was some sort of outlaw in the 1890s, late 1800s. And you can see his name there. Jefferson R. Smith is his real name, so Soapy Smith is his outlaw name, nickname, whatever. Died July, 1898 at the age of 38. So blank back there, as a stamp box. And I had it listed for $60. I started on auction and then relisted it, buy it now. And it ended up selling, I took an offer for $30. Which is, of course, a significant chunk, 50% off. But there's a couple of reasons. One, I was kind of taking a shot in the dark on pricing on this. It wasn't much to look at on Terapeak, and I don't have WorthPoint. So I put it up at 60. The person who made the offer, we went back and forth a few times. Initially, they started off with $10, and it's not going to fly. And we eventually settled on 30, but their username was Soapy Smith. So they're clearly a big-time collector of this individual. I don't know if they run a history museum or whatever the deal is, but clearly they are a big-time collector of this individual. And I consulted with my friend, Flipping Rue, and she does have WorthPoint, so she went and did a quick check. And 30 was actually a pretty good price for this card. Similar cards were going more in the $20 range in the past, so not too bad. Buyer paid shipping, and I got this from Dave F. Brother on Whatnot. About 71 cents, I think, was my per card price on that particular purchase. So not too shabby there. All right, and last but certainly not least, if you watched last week's What Sold video, Mexico has been doing really well for me lately, and this was no different. This was Hotel de l'American. Why did I try to say that? It's a hotel and Acapulco, Mexico. We'll just leave it at that. Front entrance. And this sold on 2 bids for $52. What did I start? I started at 20. So those were some pretty good 2 bids there. I believe it went back to Mexico. Let's see, there's the back there, was postally used. So yeah, nice little sale there. This came from a set of Mexico Post RPPCs that I picked up from Flippin' Roo over on Whatnot. This was part of the big $74 order I mentioned before, where I got all the postal cards and a bunch of real photos. So this, along with the Mexico real photos I sold last week, I am completely in the green on that deal. So once those postal cards start to sell, I'll be sitting pretty. So yeah, doing pretty good. I hope this trend continues. The scheduling method that I've been working on seems to be doing pretty good so far. So we'll keep that up. All right. I hope you have a great one. Let me know what your favorite sale was, and we will catch you on the next video. Stay warm out there.